The story we're going to look at today is called Sally and the Sparrows.
By introducing Sally and the Sparrows, Amy supports her young readers to successfully process this instructional level text. She encourages the children to respond to and enjoy the story while keeping the lesson instructional and on task.
This is Sally, and one day Sally woke up early in the morning and she heard some sparrows out in her garden. Cheep, cheep, cheep is what she heard. And she really wanted these sparrows to come down and see her so she could get a better look at them, but they wouldn't come out of the tree. So Sally finds a way to get them to come down out of the tree. You think bread would work? Bread or some bird seed.
Or climbing up.
Or maybe climbing up to get them down,
But that would scare them. Yeah.
and then they might fly away. So she's going to have to find something that they want,
I know
right?
it's bread.
Ah, you might be right. We're going to look through this story and talk about it a little bit, and then we're going to read through it. All right, make sure you keep your books down. Sally and the Sparrows. If you turn to the first page of this story, you see those little sparrows up in the tree? They are saying cheep, cheep, cheep,
There's sheep.
cheep. Cheep starts with CH like chicken and cheese.
C-H-E-E-P.
Everybody put their finger under the word cheep.
Cheep, cheep, cheep.
Can you cheep like those birds? Cheep, cheep, cheep. That's exactly what they sound like. Cheep, cheep, cheep. They woke up. Okay, good cheeping. You can stop now. They woke up when the sun came up, and Sally woke up too. There she is. You see her. She's not staying in bed. Her mom is in bed, but she's not going to stay in bed. She's going to go see those sparrows. And there she is in her garden.
Good choice.
Say garden.
Garden.
Let's clap garden. Garden. How many syllables? 2 syllables in the garden. Are those little sparrows going to come down and see her, you think?
Yes.
You think they'll come right down? Let's see. Did they come down? No, they stayed in the tree.
She's getting some bread.
Oh my goodness, you need to be where I am, Katie.
That's the same picture on the front.
Thank you. That is the same picture on the front, where they looked down at her, but they stayed up in the tree. And then she thought of something. She thought
Bread.
they might be hungry, so she's going to go get something.
Bread.
Do you see the bread box back there? That's where they keep their bread. Bread box, yeah.
What do they have a bread?
She's going to get some bread because she knows sparrows like bread.
Why do they have in a box?
Does anybody know why they keep bread in a box sometimes? We keep our bread in a box.
You do?
Mm-hmm. Doesn't look exactly like that, but it's kind of like that. For one thing, it keeps our bread from getting all squashed. And for another, it keeps it in a cool place, and it just helps it stay fresher longer. That's a bread box.
Bag from the market. I don't know why.
Well, that's true. We keep it in the bag, and then we put it in there. Not everybody uses a bread box, do they? But Sally's got a bread box, and that's where she looked for her bread. Now, she's a little hungry, too. Look, she took a bite of her bread already. Is this going to work, you think?
Yes.
She gives it to the sparrows, and she says, "Here you are, little sparrows." Everybody say, "Here."
Here you are, little sparrow.
Let's find that word here. What would you expect to see at the beginning? An H. Put your finger under the word here. Here. Good job, Chris. Here. Some of you are framing it. Good job. Here. You found it, Dylan? So she's calling them down. Here you are, little sparrows. Are they going to stay up in the tree, or are they going to come down?
Come down. Come down.
Are you right?
Yes.
Did they come down? They came right down. She got them out of there, those hungry sparrows.
Don't move a muscle, Missy.
If she moves, what will happen? They'll fly away. All right. I'm going to let you read Sally and the Sparrows and how she got those hungry sparrows to come down.
Sally and the sparrow.
Let's do some whisper reading. Whisper reading. I'm going to start right here with you, Miss Mia, okay? You could read a tiny bit louder. Put your fingers out, sweetie. Put your fingers out, dear. Read with your eyes. Put your fingers out.
Sparrows were ugly.
part again with no finger?
Sheep, sheep, sheep.
What part do you know in that word, Chris?
Sally went out
Good job.
down at Sally. Huggy stairs stayed down into trees. Are you hungry? Said Sally. Cheep, cheep, cheep. Said the sparrow.
Smart work, Chris. You went back to make sure that that looked right. Good job. All right. Close your books for a second. So some of you predicted bread, didn't you?
Because they already knew it.
You already knew it? How many of you have ever given birds bread? Have you ever fed birds?
At University, we put it out on the table.
You did? And did they come down and get it? So Sally had a good idea, didn't she, to get that bread and get them out of the trees? Now, you know, Sally does a lot of talking in this story. She does a lot of talking. She's having a conversation with herself and with those birds sometimes.
Sally.
Turn to page 5. How do we know that Sally's talking? What does the author do for us to let us know?
These marks.
Those marks right there, that's right, those quotation marks to let us know
3.
that Sally is doing some talking.
But it's this mark
So,
and this mark.
She does a bunch, doesn't she? Now, I'm going to read the first part of what she says, and I'm going to read it like, I'm Sally and I'm talking. I'm not going to stay in bed, she said. We have to read it with expression, don't we? I'm not going to stay in bed. Can you find the other quotation marks in the second sentence where she talks again, Dylan?
Second sentence.
Put your fingers on the quotation marks. That's right, Katie. That's where she talks the second time. This is where she talks the first time. Where does she talk the second time? She's still telling herself what she's going to
That's on
do.
the third row.
There you go.
I'm doing all of them.
Well, let's read the second one together. First she says, I'm not going to stay in bed. And then she says, I'm going to go and see the sparrows. Let's do that one more time with good expression. I'm going to go and see the sparrows. When you read what the character's saying with the quotation marks, you do it with expression.
Thank you.
That's right. If she said thank you, you'd say it just like that, wouldn't you? Great work. All right.
I have an English accent.
Can I have your books back? We're going to do a little bit of word work.
Okay, I love word work.
I'm glad you love word work. It must be because you're so smart.